8 years together, and this is how it ended. Blog number 1, starting over. 1 week ago, I, 28F, had a wedding venue booked, a $3,000 wedding dress hanging in my closet, and a Pinterest board with 78 pins labeled Jay's Ever After. Today, I'm at JFK with a backpack and no return ticket. A few hours from this post, I'll be on a plane to Bali, using the leave I saved up for our honeymoon. I don't know when I'm coming back. My family thinks I've lost my mind. My fiancé, 29 million, from this point known as D, of 8 years called off our wedding last week. 3 months before the date, 8 years of my life gone because apparently we got together too young and he never had the chance to find himself. There was another woman, of course. Yes, I lost it. I smashed things. I hit D. I was fucking mad. I am small and useless, and it didn't do anything to D, but I know it was wrong. I will seek therapy. But before that day, I've never as so much even said the 4-letter word out loud before. That was the kind of doormat I have always been my whole life. After my breakdown, my best friend B came over to accompany me over the weekend. She brought wine, ice cream, and a metal trash can. She said we had to burn shit. So the next day, we were on my rooftop at midnight, feeding our relationship artifacts to a flame ritual. Wedding magazines, the stupid love coupons I'd made him for Valentine's Day, every piece of evidence of our relationship. Into the flames they went. B said to go somewhere I have never been, to become someone he's never met. That's how I ended up booking a one-way ticket to Bali at 2 a.m. while drunk on cheap wine and rage. I found the Pinterest board I'd been building for years. Rice terraces, black sand beaches, temples in the jungle. Places I'd always wanted to see but never suggested because D thought Asia was too dangerous. Then I made a bucket list of everything I was too scared to do. Travel alone to a foreign country. Stay at a hostel, not a hotel. Tell people exactly what I think without softening it. Say no without explaining why. Maybe have casual sex for once in my life. I've only been with my ex. Do what I love. Write again, in progress, hence I've started writing on this account. I've never traveled alone before. I don't know anyone in Bali. I've booked a hostel bed and hopefully get to make some friends. I've not made a new friend in years. 6 months ago, this would have been my nightmare. But B was right. Sometimes you have to burn everything down to see what rises from the ashes. D wanted to find himself. Fine. I'm going to find myself too. I spent 8 years trying to be the perfect girlfriend, always putting his needs first. I turned down jobs, friendships, opportunities, because they didn't fit into his vision of what our life should look like. Well, that life doesn't exist anymore. So maybe it's time to find out who I am. For the first time in my adult life, I get to start from scratch. And I'll be documenting my journey here. Wish me luck. -J. I'm writing this because my therapist says documenting trauma helps your brain process it differently. At least it makes the chatter in my head go away. I figured posting anonymously here might be more cathartic than venting into some journal like she suggested. Anyway, I'm still in the air now, but I'm almost in Bali, so this will be my last post for a while. You might have seen my post, 28F, about buying a one-way ticket to Bali after my fiancé, 29M, dumped me 3 months before our wedding. Well, here's the actual breakup conversation. Disclaimer, this is from memory. The conversation will be paraphrased, and I'll leave out private details and omit some parts. And I probably made us both sound way more articulate than we actually were in the moment. But the general shitshow is preserved in all its glory. This is a condensed version of our 3-hour convo. My therapist says I'll read this back one day and be proud of my growth. Right now, that seems impossible, but I'm willing to try anything. Plus, I've always dreamed of being a writer, so maybe turning my disaster into words is the only good thing that can come from this. Here goes nothing. Blog number 2. The breakup. We'd been together 8 years, my entire adult life. D was my first everything. My first love. Only person I ever slept with. We met in college when we were basically kids and grew up together. The night it happened, I came home excited from work thinking we were finally going to settle on our honeymoon itinerary. I already maxed out my credit card booking first-class tickets for us as a surprise. He was sitting on the edge of our couch, elbows on his knees, head down. "Can we sit and talk for a second?" Huh? I still didn't really believe it was happening. I've been thinking about how to say this. My brain just refused to process it. I sat there thinking he was going to suggest postponing the wedding, or maybe wanting a smaller ceremony. "I love you, Jay. I'll always love you." He said it like he was talking about a dead person. "I'm calling off the wedding." "What?" He finally looked at me and I could see he was about to cry, and that somehow made it worse. Like he was the victim here. "I'm so sorry. Are you kidding me? This has to be a joke, right?" But I could see in his eyes that he meant it, that he'd been sitting with this decision for God knows how long. Details omitted. "I didn't mean to blindside you. I've been sitting with it for months, trying to figure out how to say it." Months. Months. While I was obsessing over our seating charts, he was planning his escape. "You don't want to marry me?" He ran his hand through his hair. The same hand that used to rub my shoulders when I couldn't sleep. The same hand that held mine through my grandfather's funeral. The same hand that slipped a ring through my finger under a sky full of stars. "I love you so much, Jay. You know that." He looked everywhere except at my face. I stared at him. The eyes I'd looked into 1,000 mornings, thinking they'd be the last thing I'd see before I died someday. Old and gray and still his. "Is it cold feet? We can postpone. Push it back a few months, or make it smaller. Your mother would prefer that anyway." I didn't realize how desperate and pathetic I sounded. "It's not the wedding, Jay." "Then what? Did you meet someone?" His hesitation told me exactly what I needed to know. "It's not like that. I haven't cheated on you." Details omitted. "Oh, congratulations. You didn't cheat. Would you like a fucking gold star?" The F word just fell out of my mouth. I'd never said it out loud before, not once in my entire life. "But there is someone else," I said, "isn't there?" "We got together so young, Jay." "So?" "I never got to discover who I was outside of us." "You had 8 years to figure that out." "I know, and I tried to make it work. I thought maybe once we were married, once everything was official, this feeling would go away. But it's getting worse." "What feeling?" "Like I'm living someone else's life." "My life? You mean my life? You think you're trapped in the life I created?" "I think we're both trapped, and it's best for both of us this way." "Best for me?" I stood up and I was shaking. "How the fuck is this best for me?" "Because you deserve someone who wants this life as much as you do." "Number, you don't get to twist this like you're doing me a favor." "I'm not saying that." "Tell me about her. The one who made you realize all this." Details omitted. Details omitted. Details omitted. She's just reminded me who I was before us. I felt dizzy after he said that, like I might pass out or throw up. Before us. Before US. Like the last 8 years of our life were some kind of prison sentence he'd finally escaped. I looked at our balcony where he'd promised we'd drink coffee on Sunday mornings for the next 50 years, where we'd watched fireworks last New Year's Eve, bundled in blankets, his arms around me as he told me, "Next year we'll be married already." I gave you everything. I held you together when... I know. I gave you my 20s, through your family and your constant insecurities. I know. Don't say I know. You don't know shit. His eyes were wet now, but I didn't care. I wanted him to hurt. I wanted him to feel even a fraction of what he was putting me through. I waited. I stayed. I planned this whole fucking wedding with your mother breathing down my neck. Boring wedding details, your logistics omitted. He didn't interrupt me. He just watched me with this terrible patience that made me feel worse. And now what? You meet someone new and suddenly decide I'm too boring? That's not it. Then what is it? What did I do wrong? It's not you. I don't want this life. Then why the fuck did you build it with me? My hands were shaking now. Why let me buy the dress? Plan the menu? Why let me turn down that job at... I thought I could learn to want it. I wanted to want it. I stepped closer to him and he didn't move. I didn't want to hurt you. I laughed, made a wild, unhinged sound I'd never made before. You didn't want to hurt me? Do you think this hurts less because you did it gently? Because you didn't stick your dick in... First? Something inside me just exploded. I went to the kitchen and started grabbing things. Birthday cards where he'd written that I was the love of his life. I threw one across the room and it fluttered pathetically to the floor. The framed photo from our chast trip. Us grinning like idiots in front of a waterfall. I hurled it and the glass shattered against the floor and it felt good. I smashed a few other stuff, including the mug B gave me. Sorry, B. D didn't move. He just sat there watching me destroy our life. I fucking loved you, I screamed. He nodded. I love you too, I still do. Don't say that. Don't you dare say those words to me now. I was standing in the wreckage of our relationship. This wasn't me. I didn't break things. I didn't scream. I fixed things. I made things better. But there was no making this better. Say something. What do you want me to say? Say you're sorry. I am. Say you'll fix it. I can't. I lost it completely. I shoved him as hard as I could and he stumbled back against the wall. Then I was hitting him, both hands against his chest, trying to crack him open and find the old D somewhere inside. The one who picked flowers from parking lots and made me pancakes when I was sad. I know hitting someone is fucked up and wrong, and I apologize and will control my emotions better next time. He didn't stop me. Didn't try to grab my hands or defend himself. He just absorbed my rage. You fucking stole everything. My youth, my life, my goddamn future. I know. Stop saying you know. My throat went raw. His hands came up then, catching my wrists. His touch was so familiar it broke me all over again. I collapsed against him and he wrapped his arms around me, and for one completely fucked up minute, I pretended this was just another fight. Just another thing we'd work through together like we always had. And then he started crying too. He just broke apart right there in front of me. Somehow that destroyed me more than anything else. Because I still loved him. Even while I hated him. I should go, he said eventually. He disappeared into our bedroom and I heard him pulling out the suitcase we'd bought together for our trip to Maine. The one he'd apparently already packed while I was at busy planning our honeymoon. When he came back with his bag, I was sitting on the floor next to the broken glass, staring at nothing. Jay, please look at me. I refused. I kept my eyes on my hands folded in my lap. I'll stay at M's for a bit. Take as much time as you need here. He walked to the door. Jay. And I could feel him looking at me, but I wouldn't let him see my face one more time. The door clicked shut. I sat there for hours next to the pieces of our broken life, holding a pillow and crying until I had nothing left. I don't know why I'm telling you all this, 30,000 feet in the air with my plane touching down soon. Maybe I just needed to write it down so I could finally let it go. Or maybe because I want other women to know that sometimes love isn't enough, and that's not your fault. Because I'm starting to figure out who I am now, too. And she's nothing like the woman who begged him to stay that night. She is going to be so much better.